All right. So, a little bit about the background on this project. We have been planting orchards in Kansas City for a decade now, and learned a lot along the way. We're now working with about 60 different schools to have orchards, which is really exciting to think that we have been able to, find these kinds of partnerships and get orchards into schools and, inspire that kind of environmental education. We were really pleased to work with the EPA starting in 2018 with the first round of grant funding that helped us get a lot of orchards installed and also helped us develop the NEST curriculum. I know some of you have utilized that and are familiar with that. It's primarily a classroom-based curriculum that uses the orchard as a learning tool. One of the lessons that we have learned and seen, though, in the last decade of orchard work is that schools have some unique challenges in orcharding, and a big one is time, finding the time to go out and do everything that those trees need of us. And that there's a lot of benefit, but there's always that balancing act. So this grant project is really about working to find tools so that we can engage students more, give them more hands-on learning, and take advantage of the fact that we have a lot more students than teachers and share that workload. So they are learning, they are doing, and hopefully all of you are not in your orchards in the evenings and weekends, and some are trying to play catch up on all your maintenance tasks. So we're going to be developing some new curriculum resources, some very simple, practical guide kind of resources to help you figure out what your students can do. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about some sub-grant opportunities for new orchard tools to hopefully, again, make things a little more efficient and easier and just work better for all of you. So I'm going to hand this off to Matt to talk a little bit about our curriculum resources and what's in the pipeline.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, Jennifer is correct in noting that really, when it comes to that NEST curriculum that we developed, that was very much in the classroom, very science-based, nutrition-based. It was a great curriculum, but when it comes down to sort of the simple maintenance curriculum that just needs to happen, quite frankly, with all of these trees, that wasn't covered within NEST. And so basically what this new curriculum will do, and I shouldn't call it curriculum, actually I should call it guides, because that's what these are. These will be guides that you'll be taking out into the orchard and teaching the students through the act of doing. So this is definitely to empower the students to have that hands-on role in the orchard. I know I get feedback from a lot of the teachers, and well, the kids like to mulch, the kids like to water, but so we will be providing guides for that, but we'll also be going a little bit further. And really, the result is this will end up being hands-on learning. It will be sort of more of a shared work in the orchard too. It's not just going to be the teachers as the stewards of the orchard, but really the entire class will be the steward of the orchard. And so they'll be more personally invested in those trees, and they'll learn more about the trees in the process. So this will be done through a couple of different ways, in how-to videos, little snippet videos of 2 to 5 minutes, as well as the activity guides. And do we have the next slide there, Jen? Yeah, so our plan is with these to have videos and then an accompanying activity guide. And these will be very much age appropriate, because we recognize that we don't want elementary school age children doing pruning. That's we teach them not to run with scissors, and we're doing well there. But we can still gear a pruning guide towards the younger ages without them picking up the hand pruners. But then once we get into sort of middle school and high school, that's when they will actually be able to pick up the hand pruners and learn by doing, by making those cuts or by tying the ribbons to the tree, and then the teacher will evaluate, and then they'll go through the whole process of, well, is this where the cut should be made? So we'll be doing that with watering. Watering can be done by any age. You just have to know how to do it correctly. So we'll have age appropriate guides for watering. Weeding, age appropriate guides. Believe it or not, people do need to know how to pull weeds. Certain weeds have tap roots, some do not. So that's important. Mulching, some of these may seem like very basic activities, but if they're not done correctly, it can actually cause more of a problem with the tree itself. So we'll be going through blossom pinching. That's perfect for younger kids, but they need to know that they're not pinching leaves. And so we will go through all of this. Perhaps the most difficult one of these will be the integrated pest management, and getting the younger ages to understand, no, they're not going to be spraying trees. Nobody's going to have a backpack sprayer on spraying trees. But this is a process of scouting and understanding the process of, leaf spots are going to be there. There are going to be certain insects that are there. And it's that process of learning whether this is a pest or not. And then those guides for the middle school and high school will take that up a notch, and we'll actually talk about some of the pest management that would be applied to a tree later on. So there will be videos and guides for all of these activities that will be coming forth, and we've already rolled out the and we're getting feedback on the pruning, and we expect to have more of these coming out as the season goes on here. So a little bit about the timeline. Did you want to talk about that, Jen? Was that? Yeah, can't remember who decided that.
Muted myself. Yeah. We have a number of our pilot partners online. So for those of you who are testing these and learning with us, thank you. We are in the trial and error stage because sometimes the things that we think hypothetically should work don't always work when you get kids in the equation. So working through some of the kinks this year, and we're looking forward to having things ready to launch to everyone in 2024. So those are coming soon. Any questions on, I'll stop and pause for a second here. Any questions on the guides and resources before we move on and talk about grant opportunities?
Is this all going to be available on the website?
Yes, yeah, that's the plan, is that it will be very, very easy to access. We will make sure and announce and, let you know when those are available and send links, but this will just be continually available on our website.
Okay, great. Sorry, I might have missed that because I got joined late. Thank you.
No. All right, well, let's move on. The other really exciting part of this project is some grant opportunities for your schools. Because the other thing that we have heard from a lot of you and other school partners is that sometimes it is difficult to get the funding that you need to get tools, or especially high quality tools. You may have part of what you need, but not everything. And quality tools really do make a difference in, being efficient and being able to do what you need to do in the orchard. So through our funding from the EPA, we have a pool of $22,500 to sub-grant to school partners as mini grants for tool purchases. We are anticipating that most tool package awards will be in the $1,000 to $2,500 range. But that gets you a pretty nice package of everything that you need for your orchard. So all of our current K through 12 school partners are available. That can be public, private, charter. You do need to have a current Giving Grove membership. If you're not sure if you're current on your Giving Grove membership, let us know, but that just means that you have filled out the annual application form with us. So we know that your contact information and all of your enrollment information is current. You also need to have a current registration in the federal system for award management, which sounds like perhaps kind of a big scary thing. You probably already have it at the district level. So if you're unsure about that, if you've never dealt with that process before, you are welcome to reach out to us. That is something we deal with on a fairly regular basis. So we're happy to help look up, where you hold that, and then who you would need to have as a contact on your end for that. Hopefully that is not an obstacle for anyone. We will be giving priorities to schools with larger populations of low-income students. We also will prioritize schools that have high levels of engagement with their orchard. So, if you took the time to hop on this call, that's a great sign. We're looking for people who will really use these tools. It's what we're going to be looking for in our selection process. So we have a recommended list of tools. Most of you probably got that way back when you started your orchard, but the things that you need right away and the things that you need as your orchard grows. So all of those tools will be eligible purchases under this grant. On the grant application form itself, it's a very, very simple 3-page application, a little bit of a cover sheet, and then you will find 2 lists that look a lot like this. You'll let us know what you already have in your orchard and what you would like. And then there'll also be a write-in option for anything that you would like to have us consider that is not on this list. But we will offer a list of, some of the brands that we recommend and the tools and the sizes of tools, things like your ladders, what sizes you need. Few things about the grant process. We will be sending out the application tomorrow following this webinar. So that will be available for you probably both on our website and then also through email to access that. It is a pretty simple application. It should not take you too long to complete that. We would like the grants. Our deadline for application is May 10th. So our hope is that we can make some approvals by May 30th, and then you will have the summer months to purchase these and have them in your orchard for the return to school next fall. One important thing about the way these grants are structured, they are provided on a reimbursement basis. So by May 30th, once we have completed the list of grant recipients, if you are selected for funding, you will receive notification from us and a grant contract that will outline the budget that you were approved and what tools have been approved on your grant. And then we'll outline our obligation to provide that on a reimbursement basis. So you will have a contract agreement. You will need to purchase those, and they do need to be purchased by the school. It cannot be purchased by an individual teacher, PTO funds, anything like that. It would need to be purchased by the school. And then provide documentation of that purchase to us. And as soon as that is done, we will provide you with the reimbursement grant. So a little bit of a paperwork trail to do on that. We are happy to help you navigate that process if you have questions about how the reimbursement process works. So please reach out if that's a challenge or an obstacle. And then at the end of the next school year, we will ask you for a short report, again, pretty simple 1-page report on how those tools have helped you in your orchard, how many students you have engaged, who's been using the orchard, what resources you've used, just kind of a quick recap. So we have a better understanding of how what we have done through this project has impacted your work in the real world. Any questions on the grant process? Either you guys are really easy or it's the end of the day and we're all tired. So if you do have questions about that, like I said, we will be sending that out tomorrow. Look for an email from Melinda. Her contact information is listed on all of the grant materials. So please feel free to reach out as you're going through that application. Happy to help. All right, if there are no more questions, that's all of the content we had for you.
Thank you.
Thank
thank
you.
Appreciate it. It's good information.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Hopefully you can get outside a little bit today.
Thank you. Can you share this, the slides and everything?
We will. Yeah, we will have a
Or
follow-up.
abbreviated, just something with all the info?
Yep. We will send out the slides, the grant application, and then a link to the recording so you can catch the beginning if you would like to.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much. This was great.
Thank you all.
Right, thank you.
Quick question. This might be for Matt, since I heard you saying kids won't be strapping on a backpack sprayer. I have had some juniors and seniors do that before. Is that something that like you wouldn't is there just too much risk, or what do you think?
No, I don't. Definitely with younger children. I think with juniors and seniors, you're fine. No, I think the big thing is knowing what you're spraying and understanding wearing the proper PPE if needed, and just training them on the spraying. One of our videos will be a how-to on the spraying, one of the IPM videos. So that's going to be sort of the longer process there with the younger kids with the IPM, and then the older kids with the IPM. So we'll run the gamut with those videos.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all. Have a great day, guys.